We're going to
Hello.
give it a couple minutes here for everyone to hop in, um, and then we'll be good to go. We'll get rolling.
Okay. Got some chats already.
Yeah, guys, in the meantime, throw your questions in the chat if you have one. Please, if we're not chatting with you, try to mute yourself too. You should come in muted. I'm not sure. I feel like somehow that gets bypassed sometimes though, but if you throw your question in the chat, we'll call on you and make sure you're unmuted to talk. But and real quick, I'm gonna throw in the chat right now a link that this video is going away like every week. I am not going away. It's still gonna happen. It's still free, but I need you guys to go. It's turning into more of a webinar. And so it's just a little bit more professional style instead of just a live Zoom call. Still on Zoom, everything else will be very, very similar for you, but I need you to go to the link and shoot it right now. Go to that link, sign up, make sure you register. And that way I can, honestly, what I'm gonna do is get rid of a lot of my notifications because I feel like they're a lot. And Zoom's gonna let you know, is gonna notify you a little bit better. Hopefully put it on your calendar and just be a little bit more constructive. But we're also going to try to grow this group a little bit too. It's been pretty much organic for the most part. So we are going to put a little effort into it because I think the more people that are in here, the better questions we get, the more everyone learns. So, but again, and I'll try to say this later too, because I know people join late. Click that link that says leads.jstays.com/signup. Fill out your information. It's going to the same place it already went to, but it's going to get you automatically registered for the webinar. So if you don't do that, you're not going to see this link anymore. Like I said, it's going to be on a different link, and you guys will miss out. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, nobody's got any questions yet. So anybody that's got a question to be answered.
Anyone had, yeah. I mean, also, how do we sound, guys? We were just debating this beforehand. Do we sound okay?
Betsy's shaking her head yes.
Not muffled in?
All right.
All right. We will take Betsy's word for it.
And Jens says sounds good too. Okay.
Appreciate it, Jens.
Yeah. We both thought we sounded like we were gurgling, like we were underwater, which is weird.
And you sound a lot better right now too, Misty. So I don't know.
Good.
Maybe it's just a minute. But anyone had a bad guess? Anyone had no bookings? Anyone's had any issues with their place, pet issue, a party, anything like that? Throw it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll get into the listing reviews portion here in a couple minutes. And also, if you want your listing reviewed, please, if we've already reviewed it, do not throw it back in the chat. If we have not, throw your link in there. Please make it an Airbnb link, and we will go through it live.
Okay, we got a question. Jeff Corporan. Sorry, Jeff. What is the best amenity to invest in? Hot tub?
Hot tubs are definitely up there. Supposedly, statistically, it's a pool table. For ROI purposes. I literally just made a video like this on my Instagram yesterday, or maybe it's going live today. Hot tub is up there for sure too, but statistically they say it's a pool table, even though a pool table I don't feel like would drive me to book the place. But that might be just, myself, a limited belief there. So yeah, sorry.
I keep getting
Yeah, ideally both. I mean, you want as many amenities as you can fit, as you can afford. There's really not an amenity that you're going to add that you're going to lose money on having it. Just some will get you paid more depending on the location you're at. versus others. And so it's important to look at the data and understand what amenities are going to matter the most to you. What's the biggest differentiator? And sometimes, depending on the area and your size home, a certain level of amenities is just necessary to be in the same, tier as everyone else. It's, you go to some locations and a hot tub isn't really an amenity, it's kind of a requirement.
Yeah, I agree.
Missy,
Um,
you're right, you see these.
Yep. Okay. Tiffany asks, I have a new client I'm helping host for sorry, this stuff's getting in the way. And she is getting no bookings due to her location and negative reviews. Any advice other than cut lease and run? Tiffany.
Um, Tiffany, are you co-hosting? And you can unmute yourself if you're here.
Let's see. I see her. Maybe she can't answer right now. My guess is yes.
Okay,
That's
so yes, okay. So the negative
okay.
reviews are on the host, and so anyway, I don't believe in co-hosting for that reason, because it's harder to control the actual outcome and the controllables with it. So right now you are co-hosting a property that she has negative reviews on from herself managing. And so you cannot control that. With a lot of people, depending on how bad the reviews are, is honestly a good idea to deactivate the listing and start over. And so having negative reviews but having experience does not outweigh the negative reviews, and especially depending on what the reviews are and how damning they are, can really cost a lot of money. People are getting really good at getting good reviews. When we first started, we were the only ones at our level. We were head and shoulders above everyone else. A lot of people have caught up. A lot of people have gotten into the game in the last few years too, and they don't really know the old ways where you didn't have to get great reviews. It wasn't as important because there wasn't enough Airbnbs to go around. But today there is, and so 5 stars is just as much of an amenity as the pool table or the hot tub as well. Also, Airbnb is signaled with that 5 star review too, or multiple, and getting them nonstop, that guests like your place, so they're going to promote your place too. They're going to want people to stay with you because, as I always say, the guest is Airbnb's customer. It's not us. They don't care about that. We're just, a cog in this machine, customer. And so they're looking out for the benefit of the customer always. Aim and look through everything like that. And same thing with your minimum stays, your cancellation policy, everything you're doing. The more flexible you are, the way you're designed, the more attractive you are, because it's going to be a better booking experience for the guest. And then if you can deliver a better guest experience, Airbnb is really going to, and so they are 100% biased, and right, they're protecting their brand. They want people, because who hosts a stay? If you host a stay and it's like guest, the guest in their head says, "I hate Airbnb." Don't say, "I hate this specific." I hate Misty. They say, "I hate Airbnb. I never like Airbnb. It never works for me. I'm not using it." And so that's what Airbnb doesn't want. They want back and book on Airbnb another place at another time and keep coming, just that reoccurring revenue.
Okay, Ryan. So it sounds like your audio is being garbled again. I can still hear you. I mean, I can understand what you're saying. It's just weird. Just so you know. Tiffany said, okay, I was leaning that way. She is open to deactivating and making a new one. But also, Tiffany mentioned in the initial question about negative reviews due to location, which I'm not sure there's anything you can do about that. I mean, you have maybe a different opinion, Ryan, but we're not moving the house.
What, Alita?
What's
Sorry,
that?
Jeff.
Sorry,
Oh,
I accidentally muted.
oh, that's okay. I thought you had an argument there.
I'm arguing with my buddy here, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry about that.
No worries. Okay.
Everyone's
Yeah.
a little garbled. It sounds,
Sounds
it's
funny,
weird.
right? Yeah.
I don't know, maybe something's going on with Zoom today, so we'll
Zoom.
power through
Yeah.
it. this won't be super riveting on YouTube later, but yeah, you can't move the house, and so we've managed some places that aren't in great neighborhoods, but what is most important is what the neighbors look like. You know, if the neighbors have boarded windows, there's really nothing you can do to that property. There's no amount of amenities you can put into the property that's going to matter. You would have to be so cheap that they would overlook that. And that's again, that's a different game to play, and not one that we really believe in. We don't want to compete on that price, and especially if you're competing on price just from the low value of your place by itself, to you're on the other side of the spectrum. So um, if it's if it's able to get a 5-star review, um, and it's been just the way it's been managed, I would move it into your name, Tiffany, and have full control of that guest experience. If it's not able to get a 5-star review, I would cut bait. They aren't worth, it's not worth hosting or helping. We did in the beginning, and it hurt us quite a bit. We took on a few properties we shouldn't have, that weren't really capable, no matter what we did on the guest experience side, of delivering a consistent 5-star stay. So yeah, I would look for the ones that are able to. That's been a rule of thumb for us on taking new clients on for a long time, is can it get a 5-star review?
Yep. Okay, next question from Joseph. He said, how would you highlight a swim spa? Some people are not sure if it's a pool or a hot tub.
Depends on the season. I would, probably highlight it more of a spa during the winter and more of a pool during the summer. The thing you have to be careful with is, and I've seen people do this, is when you don't want it to be considered a full pool either. Like, so you don't want to sell it, and the way the photos are taken, that people think it's, a full-size pool, because it's a swim spa can be fantastic, but it's not a pool. And you want to make sure that they understand that. So you don't want to trick them into booking thinking they're getting a full-size pool. But I would take 2 photos. I would take one that's a hot tub and one that is a pool, and depending on the time of the year and what temperature you're running it at, should depend on what you're promoting at that point. And I would be clear in the description as well, and the messages that go out, about what the temperature is currently and where it's staying, basically. So you don't want someone thinking that they're getting a 15-person hot tub when they're really getting a 15-person warm pool, and vice versa. So yeah, I think it's a cool item because it can be seasonal, and I would just utilize that. It's just 2 different photos really that you rotate through.
Love it. All right, Gary. Hi, Gary. If my property is overseas, it's in the Caribbean, what are the tax implications? Do I register in the Caribbean or here in North America?
Gary, I think you're on the wrong Zoom. I have I have no idea anything to do with taxes. I know how to make you the money that you're going to pay taxes on, but where you put those taxes, how you pay them, I cannot give that advice. I don't know. I don't even handle our internal taxes, so you're talking the wrong person.
Michael says that's a grok.com question, LOL.
Yeah.
Might be. Sorry, Gary, but I'm sure someone more qualified than either of us can answer that question for you. Okay, Jens, oops. Jens says, sorry, I lost it. I gotta go back up there. I hit the wrong button. Do you have a list of arcade games that you recommend? We are thinking about a game room with arcades and a game room. And a game with glass tabletop to be positioned in the living room. So like the console that you sit at, kind of like what used to be in the Pizza Huts a million years ago.
Yeah.
You're too young for that, Ryan, I know, but us old people know what I'm talking about, right?
No, we don't. I know what you're talking about. We don't have, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, Misty, but we don't have a list of, it depends on the size and space and what's going to look good in that space. They're all different colors too.
Yeah, and your target audience, right? Like,
yeah.
You don't want to have a Mortal Kombat game if you're going to have little families with little kids, because that's not an appropriate game for little kids.
Depends on, I don't know, my youth was full of Mortal Kombat, but yeah, it depends on quite a few factors. There's a lot of options out there. What I will say is no one is, I don't think any, at least again, we're everything's built on beliefs, and I don't believe that anyone's booking saying, "Oh, this one has a Pac-Man," versus the other one has. Um, the only game I would consider that people would actually be excited about beside is the um, the golf game with the, I
Oh,
can't remember what it's called.
Golden
T
Tee.
something. Golden Tee. Yeah. Golden Tee is probably the only game I really think that people, and probably just bros, would be excited about having the space. So if it was like a dedicated bachelor pad theme, then I would think towards that style for those games. But if you're just putting kid games in, I mean, definitely like a Pac-Man. Most arcade games anymore come with 500 games already added on it. It's not just one thing anymore. So you're getting everything. It's really just, what does it look like? For the space, how does it fit, and all that. But there's tons of options out there.
Yeah, yeah, and they're all relatively priced the same, especially if you're buying them from a like Amazon, Walmart, Wayfair, any of those places. If you're going like directly to like an arcade game supplier, you're going to get a nicer game all around. You're going to get a nicer cabinet for that game. It's going to be larger size and probably have better functionality. So just remember, you get what you pay for with those things. Some of them can be real cheap. Michael said that he's replacing his 85 game tabletop with wall mounts, which I've seen those, but we've never gotten the opportunity to do that. So I'd be curious as to how well they work. But let us know, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. I think. Hold on. Okay, Aaron has a question. Looking into a direct booking website, do you have a preferred platform for that as well? Where do you get proper insurance?
I mean, there is a proper insurance company. I'm not sure if you're referring to that, and then you would obviously go through proper, but they're really probably the only ones that I know of that actually do short-term insurance, but that's more liability wise. So I guess back to the initial direct booking website, we utilize Guesty is our PMS, and that's who builds up our direct booking sites. That's who we use to do our client sites as well. It's nothing robust. It's nothing crazy. It is what people need to understand, and I went over this last week as well. But direct bookings, we run Google ads that are profitable to our direct bookings, but it's still maybe 3-4% of our total book of business. So you are not, no matter what you do, you're not going to compete with Airbnb. And if you are competing with Airbnb, something is wrong and you're losing money on the Airbnb side. They are the 800-pound gorilla in the room. So we need to optimize that first. That's going to move the needle the most. A direct booking site is great for capturing returning guests when someone is coming back. You can send someone the link to the website after they leave, after they check out, and then they can come and stay with you again. We usually offer some kind of discount too, and you're still making more money with that discount than you would than booking somewhere else. There's risks that come with direct bookings. The insurance is hard. We also use though Guesty Shield for our insurance too. We didn't have insurance on it for a while though, and so again, it's a great resource for returning guests because you already had that experience with them. There's a little bit more trust. But if you just throw out a direct booking site and you don't have insurance, there can be chargebacks on the card, and someone can stay with you that essentially stay with you for free because they claw back that money from you no matter what, and then they can also destroy your place. So I started teaching people about Airbnb online because of the amount of people that were talking about direct bookings and SEO, and how that made me super frustrated because again, like there's so many people missing the big building blocks of having a great Airbnb. These are going to be much smaller. So Aaron, if you've figured everything else out and you are optimized every single other place, that's when you want to look at these other options. But if your place needs a tweak or two, if you're not getting enough reservations as it currently is, you want to look at the places that are already having where all the attention already is. So that's Airbnb, Vrbo, and Booking.com, can still capture about 10%. So it should be basically like about 60% Airbnb, 30% Vrbo, and 10% Booking.com, and then direct bookings, fill in here and there. So,
Yeah.
but that's where the attention already is. That's where random guests already trust that their money is not being stolen from them. And those are going to offer you the best protections as well.
Yeah. I think it's hard to get anybody to come to a direct booking website who doesn't already know you exist, right? So unless you're doing a lot of marketing, Aaron, the direct booking website's not going to be a big revenue driver for you until you gain some trust and some credibility.
When I found a cool place and I get to their direct booking site, I still go to Airbnb and find it on there. Like, just because I trust Airbnb is going to process my payment correctly. And there's some kind of, if something goes wrong, I have some way of, dealing with a problem where I feel like there's someone that's going to help me, even though we all know how Airbnb is.
Yeah. So Aaron said about the insurance, not necessarily proper insurance, the company, but I am familiar with them if they're the go-to. That's the most popular one. But I've been told that your other insurance companies, other insurance providers will do that for you, but you have to be honest with them and tell them that's what you're doing. The last thing you want to do is have your homeowner's insurance policy deny a claim for a fire because they found out that you were running the property as a vacation rental and there's a clause you didn't realize in your insurance policy that allows them to get out of paying that claim. So honesty is
And they
always
will get out of it.
Yes, they will
They will
get out of
it if they can.
because they have $1 million attorneys on retainer.
Yeah. They will make sure that they don't pay you. Michael's mentioning StayFi, I see in here too. And StayFi is great for anyone that doesn't know. What they do is basically they set up, if anyone's ever, gone somewhere and used the Wi-Fi at like a Starbucks or anywhere, you have to like put your information in and log in essentially. That's what StayFi does. So it's capturing not only the main guest information, but all their friends and family information as well as they log in. We have not used it. I am not sure how I feel about that friction for the guest stay of giving them that corporate feel. But it's also, we managed quite a few properties and it's like 14, 15 bucks, I think it was at the time per property. And it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But if it's just you individually and you got one place, it's definitely probably worth a shot to at least try. And I would just be mindful of that guest experience though. And if you are getting pushback, if people are making comments, you want to pivot quickly. So there's good friction and bad friction. We don't want there to be too much friction in there for their stay. That is gonna, you can collect all the emails you want, but it causes one, 4-star review that's going to cost you a lot more than all those emails that you collected. So
yeah,
just be
and he
mindful.
said, yes, I'm thinking about offering a discount to return guests, which is what we do, right? So
Yeah,
yep,
we do
right
10%.
on the right track.
So
okay, Yen says I have not received a single Vrbo booking since going live with the listing about 8 months ago. Are there any obvious points to check before going into full-blown review?
I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome, William.
He's muted now. You didn't realize you were live, did you, William?
I don't know without seeing. There's not really any. Obviously, you want to make sure it's synced up to your PMS, your Guesty ends. But if everything is synced up and you are available, I would go in as the general public in the Vrbo and try to find your listing, see how it looks, see how it's priced, see if you go to book it, what happens, make sure it is actually live. Airbnb is the easiest platform to work with when understanding just like the ability to use the platform from our side of knowing what's wrong or what's not. Vrbo isn't as easy, and Booking.com is like looking at a different language when you're trying to figure out what's going on with your property. That's why I utilize a PMS for those. But No, I would have to look and at the property to really know. You might be overpriced though too. I'm not sure, but you should have it. The market will tell you what your property is worth, guys. So if you have zero bookings, you're too expensive for what you're putting out there. I don't want it to sound insulting, but you need to understand that the market will tell you what you're worth. And so if you are getting no bookings, they're seeing what you look like online and saying at that price, the value isn't there. And so you need to lower your price if you want bookings. It is very, very straightforward that if you do nothing with your property and you have a property, no matter what condition, no matter which one it is, and you lower your price, you will get more bookings. If you raise your price, you will get less across the board. It is this equilibrium will happen.
Okay, Jeff asks, do you utilize the Guesty promo / discount feature to prior guests? I use Guesty and have heard they offer that feature, but I have never used it.
Yeah, we do the discount. It's a coupon, I think. That's what they call it. I think the promos we use to add discounts or fake discounts in Airbnb. So we do the promotions, the last minute and early bird promotions within Guesty. But there's also a coupon you can do that goes on your website. We do it's like welcome back 10 is the promo code. Now everyone can stay with us for 10% off on this call. But we give out that code. So we send a message after the guest is checked out, like a few days later, saying, hey, after we've seen the place. We don't send, like, we're going to turn this message off if we've seen the place and they destroyed it. But after we've seen the place and it looks fine, we send out a message that says, hey, if you ever want to come back, it's a text message too, by the way, guys. Don't send this in Airbnb. Don't email it to them. This is why it's important to have a PMS, because you can text message out of there. But you send them a text message and you say, it was great having you. Love to have you back if you're ever in the area. Feel free to use this, discount code, promo code, whatever, however you want to say it, for 10% off.
Okay, awesome. Last question. What tool do you use for market price? I use Hospitable, but wondering what your thoughts are.
I assume you're just asking for pricing, but like a pricing tool. We use Beyond Pricing. I would not use Hospitable. I would use Price Labs before them. And then I obviously, if you want the best, I would use Beyond. But we used Hospitable, then we went to Price Labs, and then we went to Beyond is literally the order we went into. Guesty offers their own pricing as well. Most PMSs will offer their own pricing. What I will tell you is you want to work with someone that's all they do. That's what they specialize in. That's what they understand. It's not some simple equation, but Beyond's the closest one that is similar to hotel pricing, where they find similar events, and then they also look at occupancy nearby. So if occupancy is raising in an area, they'll raise your rates as well. They also right now are changing our prices like 5,000 times a day on Airbnb, just up and down $1, causing a ton of activity on our listings too, which helps Airbnb know that it's not a dormant listing.
Okay. Luxury sales guy says, so Guesty does text. We use Breezeway, but they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They do. I'm going to throw in the chat here for you guys too. If anyone's new on this call too, just understand what we do. We do Airbnb design and optimization. We manage as well, even though that side we are winding down. We are more focused on helping people nationwide than managing their properties. I'd rather teach you how to manage them, but we are really good at that, and we're really good at building out an Airbnb that's going to bring in a ton of revenue. The things that makes us different is that we've also managed 6,000 stays, so we know what the guest experience should look like, and we know how to get that flywheel started with the whole thing. But you need good design on the front end. You need a great guest experience on the back end. If you can do both of those things, you can raise your price over time while everyone else is lowering theirs. I'm going to shoot you guys in here too if anyone's interested. I have a link somewhere that if you can't tell, I don't sell this stuff very often. But you get like the first 5,000 bookings free somewhere. for beyond pricing if anyone's interested. I should just throw
Oh,
these
yeah.
links in every time.
Yeah, you should definitely.
That and Guesty as well, guys. If you want that code, I think you get like the first month free or half off.
Okay. While you're doing that, Ryan, I just posted, we're going to review Betsy's property first. She didn't get to do it last time, so she came back. So we're gonna put you at the top of the list, Betsy. And fair warning, Betsy's been hosting for 10 years, Ryan. So she might know more
we got a bet.
than you.
All right.
All right,
Amherst,
Betsy,
Massachusetts.
I'm going to ask you to
Yeah,
unmute. So you
sorry.
can talk about it.
I got it.
Okay. Amazing. All right. Yes. She's in Amherst, Massachusetts, or at least that's where the property's at. Is that where you're also
Right.
located?
Yes. I am in Amherst. One of the problems I have is that for some reason, even though I've listed it in Amherst and our address is Amherst, for some reason we come up under the next town over, Pelham. So I've got to contact Airbnb to see if there's something we can do to get that changed.
This would you should be showing up over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're up here. Wait a minute. I'm trying to.
You're muted again, Betsy.
Oops.
Did you do that, Misty?
Unmute. So
No.
sorry. Yeah, thank you. So we're up in the area. We're right up in here. You can't see do you see the town Shutesbury?
Yes.
Okay, we're a half mile into Amherst off from Shutesbury. But for some reason we get listed as Pelham. I think Pelham is next to Shutesbury, just south of Shutesbury.
Oh, right here.
I think because Pelham shares our zip code, but I don't know why. I've got to find out why and see if I can get that corrected, because it does affect where we show.
So is this location not where you are?
Can you see his screen, Betsy?
Can you zoom in there? It's very faint here on my screen. Yeah, that's exactly where we are. Yep.
Okay. So it knows where you are.
Yeah,
and
it does.
says you're Amherst. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't worry too much about that. I think you're doing all right.
Yeah.
So, and you are doing all right. I mean, you got 300 reviews at a 4.96. It's fantastic. Good job.
Yeah.
You're
So here's my problem. The competition. We've got a lot more people coming into the area.
Yeah.
I have
I'm sure 10
refused.
years ago.
I have refused to drop my rates. And what I found is because of the new people coming in there, and they start their rates at a much lower range, that I don't have the people booking as many bookings as I used to have. So I'm trying to figure out what to do about it. Do I drop my rates I just think it demeans, the property if I do that.
Yeah. So, and this is, it's not an uncommon experience. 10 years ago was a ton easier in this world. Everyone was making money hand over fist. Even 5 years ago was a completely different time. We started about 5 years ago, and our places were decked out boutique hotels, and we were basically the only ones in our market that looked like that. It's not the case anymore. Everyone else has stepped their game up. Everyone else has come to that level. And so if you're not willing to go to that level, I tell a lot of people, you either need to hold on for as long as you can, and you need to lower your rates to get the occupancy, or you need to, put money into the place to get it to the level that everyone else is right now. It's basically the question of whether or not you want to invest in the property or not. And so understand that, most of the time, every dollar you put in design is going to be 100% ROI. And any other place in the world, if someone told you were going to get 100% ROI, you would give them all the money you had. because that's a fantastic return. You know, the stock market produces like what, 7 to 9% return, and people will put all their money there. If I said 100% return, you know, everyone should take that bet, but a lot of people don't. And it's also, I understand, because it's not just, you know, money. For a lot of people, it's the decisions on what to do. It's the labor of doing it. Obviously, that's why we exist, is we help people with those decisions. We optimize places and build them out. But the game is not going back to the way it was. The box, is it Pandora's box, is open. And so we cannot shut it. And this is the expectation moving forward. And it is a bitter pill that a lot of people need to swallow, because, like I said, I hear this all the time, Betsy. You're not alone in that world. You honestly, a quick glance, you have a good place. I'm going to tell you some stuff you can change today that's going to help.
Great.
But
That would be great.
but as I gave the example of a cake last week, none of the things I tell you today are going to affect the actual cake. We're talking about making the icing a little bit more tasty. And
Got it.
and so it might not move the needle as much as you need it to cover whatever bills you need to cover. But off quick glance, I can tell you the main thing is the place feels empty, more empty than it probably should. But I can tell you two things immediately right away. A, we need to work on your title. There's no mention of a pool in here, and I can see one right here. We need to mention all the amenities in the title. I like the cozy in here. Maybe cozy log cabin is about as long of a descriptor as I would use. Probably want to shorten that as well. You definitely don't need the rest of this, though. People know where it is. It shows on the map correctly. And if anyone's new here today, understand that, we are kind, not nice about these reviews. We're going to be completely honest here because we want you guys to make more money. So I don't want to come across rude about any of this, Betsy, but I want you to make more money, okay?
Yep, I'm good.
So let's scroll through the photos quickly. Okay, so it is a cabin. Pretty basic. I mean, obviously the pool is a big amenity there that you have. You may want to think about another amenity to add as well, though, as this being your only one. But the first thing I would do is dress up the pool better. The way it currently stands feels very blah, and it's hard to imagine how awesome that water is going to feel when you jump in, by the way it looks in this photo. Professional photos would really help in general too, but when you're looking at a pool, like the outdoor space, the best looking pools on Airbnb are going to have a ton of seating, nice seating too. They're going to have a ton of umbrellas. You want to look at throwing some floaties in here, especially oversized ones, at least for the photos. You can always pull the air back out of them and return those ones and give the guests basic ones that are cheap, that are easy to replace. But do you see these users, Misty, trying to join?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's like distracting. I keep wanting to click on them.
Yeah. No, I was reading the description on Betsy's property.
Nice. So I literally made a post about dressing up amenities last week on our Instagram. And if anyone here doesn't follow our Instagram, you should. A ton of information on there. Jay stays. But you need to dress up the amenities. Just throwing amenities in your place, it's not going to do what you want it to do. This pool is adding revenue to your property. 100% is doing that for you. But if you dress it up properly, it does even more than that. Like, you can compound that return. So if we could get like the best pools, like I said, ton of seating. You want maybe like a cooking area out here too, the umbrellas, the floaties in the pool. If you could somehow get string lights over the pool as well and get that photo, a wildly different experience that guest is imagining, right?
Yeah,
and
sounds good.
That is where you can get a lot of forgiveness about the way the rest of the place is right now by dressing this large amenity up. but the interior it's 10 years old. And it's outdated, and it's very, very much very, very simple. So
Okay.
there isn't a lot of attraction there. The pool should also be your first photo. Uh,
Even in the
well, it's,
wintertime?
I was just gonna say, I'd remove the pool during the winter time completely, or move it to
Okay.
the very back. I would remove
Okay.
it out of the top 5 here, but that's where you need to think about the winter, and you need like a fire pit outside. You need something that's enjoyable. Like if I'm going to a cabin, if I'm going up to the mountains, even in the winter, I still want to enjoy the outside. I think the best thing for a cabin, honestly, is a fire pit and a hot tub. Those are two things I want to experience in the snow, in the cold. Um, those can be awesome places to hang out with people you're with. So, um, it's only a 1 bedroom cabin.
Yes. Yeah.
So
It
it's
looks bigger than that.
basically the pool house, right, Betsy?
Mm, yeah.
So the cabin or the structure that's in front, is that your personal residence?
Yes. Yeah. It's a separate, it's separate, but it's connected, but it's a private hallway and entrance into that space.
Yeah, and that's why I was reading the description, Ryan, because I was also confused as to what was why it was only 1 bedroom when it looked so much bigger in the picture.
So I do have a sofa bed in the living room, and that does get used a lot by guests. So we
Yeah, it's a
can,
small.
yeah, it's a small space.
Well, it's a small space to have a pool. So you're kind of losing the opportunity. Most pools sleep 16 plus for a reason. Like
Yeah, I get it.
you want to have people or friends, you want to hang out in the pool with people, but a pool is a big thing to have for just, you and your spouse. Uh, on your description here, I want more bullet points.
Okay.
I'd like it to be mostly bullet points. These are
All right.
uh
I am working on that now, so any suggestions would be very much welcomed.
you want some emojis in here too.
Okay.
So you want to utilize that. What I would do, honestly, is Betsy, do you use ChatGPT at all?
I am using it now to create a new listing, a new description.
Okay. So just copy this into ChatGPT and ask it for an optimized Airbnb description with
Okay.
bullet points and emojis, and it'll pump it
Okay.
out for you, and it'll be perfectly fine. I can show you in a little bit what ours look like, but no one reads anyways. So again, we're talking about not moving the needle much, but if you're going to
Okay.
give people a chance to read, it needs to be a little bit more attractive on the eyes.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense.
And then when's busy season?
It probably starts the beginning. There's some reservations in March and April. January, February is got maybe 1 or 2 per month, and then that starts to get more like weekend reservations. Summertime beginning in May. Again, that's weekends, but there's a 5 college area I live in, and there used to be 3 weekends where we had graduations, and my rates were over $300 a night, booked full every year. But they combined some of the 2 graduations into one weekend, so I lost a whole weekend there. Then in June, as soon as students, elementary school, high school, is dismissed for the summer, then the bookings become more weekly up until
Okay.
the end of August, and then it goes mostly weekends after that again.
You're using Airbnb's pricing?
I am using my own. I do my own pricing. I used to work as a general manager of a hotel nearby. So I have a lot of experience in doing that. I look at both the hotels, local hotels, and what the people in the area for Airbnb and VRBO are using for their pricing. And I work it off from those two.
What is like the average revenue that your place does in a month?
Oh boy. Summertime 4 to 5K.
Let's just
Wintertime,
say over the year, what do you do in a normal 12 months? Ballpark. Just throw me a number.
around 30
Okay.
K.
So a software like Beyond Pricing would cost you, they charge 1%. So it would cost you about $300 a month, or a little less than $300 a month, to have it that is going to do all the work for you. And I promise you that the way their machines are working, how quick they're adjusting, the thing that you bring up all these weekends being booked,
Yeah.
for sure. And that usually means the weekends are too cheap and your weekdays are too expensive. And so what you need the software to do is when the revenue is available, you want it to go up as high as it can to capture it as the highest dollar that it can. But you
Yeah.
also want it to swing back down on a random Tuesday and capture that low revenue as well. That's
I do
available.
that. My weekends are totally priced different than the weekdays. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would look into some software. I'm looking at your pricing right
Okay.
now, and like every single day of the year should really be a different price because there's a different value to every day.
Got it. I do
And
understand that. Yeah.
there's too much work for just a human brain to do all that, honestly. Let alone the time it would take to do it. So I think it's well worth the $30 investment to make, for that to happen for you. But I think you would, I mean, I think a lot of people just with pricing software alone are probably missing 5-10% revenue.
Okay. I do believe in that as well, because when I was working as a general manager at the local Hampton Inn, they did end up bringing in a same thing, revenue revenue application. And
Yeah.
we just use that instead, working at it at ourselves.
Yeah. No, I promise you it's gonna do a better job for you. And it's no insult
Sounds
to
like
your abilities. It's just the way, you want to utilize the tools we got.
Yeah,
Property
sounds like a
management
good
software
idea.
and pricing software are really non-negotiables anymore. All right. Let's move on to, do we have another one?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
that was helpful.
It was.
That
Thank you.
It was awesome just to have somebody with so much experience be part of this. So, okay, there you go, Ryan. This is Luxury Sales Guy. If you're still on, maybe you have a first name.
Tony, sorry about that. That's just my
Tony.
so.
It's all right. Tony, it
What
is.
kind of
All right.
luxury what kind of luxury are you selling, Tony?
I sell luxury appliances. I work for a Sub-Zero company, so
Nice.
that's my day job, and then continuing to sharpen my processes in the rental world. So I've done it for a few years with different properties, but just always a good glance at the property to give ideas would be always input I would take.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. All right. Awesome place right off the bat. So like Betsy, what I'm talking about is what's going on here is he has crammed essentially every single amenity he can into 50 characters, because that's all you get, right? So there is oceanfront, the indoor outdoor pool, hot tub, barbecue, all that is in there. So it's just quick hitters, guys. It just needs to be that, especially because you only get 5 photos here and the 4 of them are small, that they can quickly see what's available to them. That's all you really need to think through there. Tony, I will tell you that this shouldn't be your first photo. I wouldn't even have it in the top 5. Somewhere in the bottom third of your photos is where I would put this one. Still a great photo. What you want to have in here, though, is a fresh sponge for them too, showing them what they're available. But love a good kitchen sink. We have one in every single listing that we manage. But also, just a pro tip for everyone on here. We do individually wrapped blue sponges for each guest. It is something we get compliments on all the time. If you are letting anyone reuse a sponge, shame on you. That's disgusting. But if it is, even if it's unwrapped, it is hard sometimes to tell if it is used. So we like the freshly wrapped. You can get them at Costco, they're like $1 a piece, something like that. It is well worth delivering that guest experience to people. But yes, I would imagine I want to see, looking at these amenities, I probably want to see the ocean or I want to see the pool in my first photo. One of the two. I know I can see it here technically, but I can't. Not really. Like, I want to see it from closer to the balcony. So let's get into it. If you've ever been on my call before too, I do not like the order that Airbnb tries and makes you feel like it's mandatory to do. I want to tell the story and I want to put the photos in my own order. So when someone clicks in, that I can keep selling them. You know, Tony, you're a sales guy. That first photo is doing 80% of the lifting for you. That is the top of the funnel. People are clicking on that. They're getting at least to your listing. The rest, you need to continue to tell that story. That's why cohesive design is so important, making the place feel similar throughout. But then when they click on the photos to see more, I also like to continue to control that story, whereas I can't here, right? You're stuck in this order that they put you in. And honestly, my main pet peeve is I'm like, oh, look at this pool. And I click on it. Okay, where, like, I gotta go, all right, it's up here. And I gotta click to I just want to see that photo. I want to be able to click on a photo and get to that photo. So I don't know what guest wants to really start in the living room, especially a place that has amenities. But Airbnb does that to people and they make it feel like it's mandatory. So nice place here.
So how do you change that up? Is there a way to change that up manually then to where it's not starting in the living room?
I don't know how to backtrack, so I sorry if I'm insulting people and then not giving you a solution. But I don't know how to get back out of it once it's in. I'm just kind of using it as an example for people that are building listings. If you ever build another one, you don't have to do that, and I don't like it. Again, beliefs for me, but yeah. So
ChatGPT will tell you how to do it.
yeah, I've gotten asked that multiple times. I don't know why I don't just find the solution for people. But okay, so it is a condo. This is a little different because it's community pool. It's community items, it's not an individual space. So I wouldn't have the pool as your first picture, needless to say. It needs to be a photo of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yes. Possibly this one. Yeah. I wouldn't do one that doesn't show some of the house, but you want it to be like 2/3 view, 1/3 of the home, so you can see like where I would see it from. Because like this shows the view, but then I'm not sure if this is a drone shot, and so you might be just stepped out from the balcony and taken it, but just keep in mind that's why you want one that's probably like this. So go ahead.
Oh, no, I said, okay. No.
Oh, okay. So a lot of amenities that you're mentioning are community items, right? The hot tub, barbecue, and the pool. Those are all community items, right?
Correct.
Shared.
Correct. Yep.
It's where you need to be careful with that. And maybe you mention it in your description, but you want to make sure that that's understood, that someone's not booking. Everyone, you need to treat your listing and the way you're describing it basically down to a third grade level. With some of these guests that aren't going to understand that. We don't want to oversell the place, have someone show up and something not be available. That seems obvious to the average person. but it's not always going to be. So you don't want to possibly sell that. And if you are selling it, just be aware that you might get some blowback. It might hurt your reviews. People might complain later. You might need to give refunds because it's not, you know, a pool that's available to them. So,
Gotcha.
but Missy, you want to talk about the design at all?
Yeah, before we do that, it looks like Faye was able to like help provide some insight into the photo issue. She said only some hosts have the ability to remove the photo tour. I asked chat and I don't have the option on my account. So maybe we do, Ryan, because we host so many properties. You know, we have a certain number that we've surpassed. I don't know, but thank you for providing that, Faye. And she gave a little copy paste from chat into the chat. So, oh, now I see your face again, Ryan. Do you want to go back to sharing your screen?
I was gonna let you share.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
you don't.
No,
That way you
I'm
can
fine
drive.
with that.
Yeah. And I wanted to see the chat so I could see what they said. And
Okay.
so, yeah, I don't know how to, you can also, I think if it's connected to a certain PMS too, you can undo it as well for the photo stuff, but we'll move on from that.
Okay, so hopefully everybody can see my screen. I'm going to go quick since it's already 1 o'clock. But Tony, overall, this is really nice. I like the kind of like monochromatic vibe that you've got going on in here because it is very like ocean centric, you know, ocean's blue, sky's blue, inside of your condo is blue. So like, I like it. I like the coral pattern of the upholstery on this chair. So because you did, you or whoever you hired did a pretty good job on this property, I'm going to be nitpicky now. So I'll be kind or nice, but not kind, whichever one it is. So really nitpicky, I would say like you've got too much stuff on this little console thing. Your TV is also a little bit too high. Again, being super nitpicky, but it looks like, I'm sure it's decor, but to me it looks like weird stuff because you can't see it. And then the you have grommet curtains, which make me want to cry. But again, I'm being super nitpicky. The again, like this just this TV console thing just looks cluttered. I would swap out these two small pieces of art for one large one. And any of your pillows that are polyfill pillows, please swap those out with feather down. They just look more luxurious, and your coffee table is a little undersized. Again, I'm being super nitpicky. So
No, it's funny. We've already changed the coffee table, so that's good. But no, I like the great ideas on the even the pillows, down to the pillows. Those great ideas.
Yeah, feather down pillows are going to be, even if you want to do an alternative down. Polyfill is just awful. It's what like the couch came with. I don't know why couch manufacturers continue to do this to us in the design industry. It makes no sense, but I wish they would stop it. I mean, beautiful kitchen. I love the light fixtures. The non-microwave over the cooktop makes my heart so happy. And I would say that if you can, I don't know if you can because of like the height of that door, but I would probably put a rug in front of that door if you haven't done so already, or some sort of runner, because I imagine at some point somebody's coming back up from the beach and they've got sand on their feet or on their shoes or whatever. So just helping people be able to wipe their feet off. And then you have this little like beach over the door, which I think is really cute, but I think it would be way cuter if it was over the island instead. Really super nitpicky though. Oh. And let's see. Let's keep going. I mean, this is a little random. It's a little like probably unnecessary. If those are just like vinyl decals, I'd probably take them off.
Okay.
Coffee, sugar, tea, great. We do coffee filters also in a like a little holder on the counter, just so people know that we're providing.
Okay.
We like these jars to be clear. Just because you have the jar doesn't mean that you have it filled up. So if our jars are clear or your jars are clear, then the guest knows that they actually are getting coffee and that they're not just decorative jars. And then like if you're taking a picture of your knife set, like the whole knife set needs to be there. So you've got like a steak knife missing here. And then I immediately like my eye is drawn to the fact that like, why is there one missing and why did they take a picture of it?
It was used as a murder weapon. We had to throw it away.
Well, I mean, there's that reason. So
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Just make sure that that's in the description.
right, right. The murder weapon is missing. So it's in lockup. It's in evidence lockup. Right, Ryan said the sponge, but thank you for putting your dish soap and hand soap in non marked containers or like the commercial containers they came in. These are so much more elegant and sophisticated. I really like that faucet. I think it's pretty. This I don't love that centerpiece. I know, again, being super nitpicky. And then I would reupholster these chairs around this table with something that's cleanable. Now, if this is like a cleanable vinyl, then you can leave it. But I immediately think that this looks dingy.
No, and I have to get them cleaned all the time because the kids drop stuff and stain them. So.
Yep.
Good.
So I would do a cleanable, like a faux, like a leather, faux leather, like a pleather, or just something colored, not like actual brown leather, like a blue leather, or maybe like a blue and white stripe, like an awning kind of, style stripe. There's lots of fabric out there, so I don't think you'll have a problem. And reupholstering a chair seat's easy peasy. Okay. And then bedroom's great. Love it. I want you to put a rug in here. When I get out of bed in the morning and my bare feet touch cold floor, it instantly puts me in a bad mood. So I'd like a rug around the bed. Again, grommet curtains, I'm being nitpicky. You don't have to change them because I said so. I'm just saying that non-grommet curtains are like elevated design or like a more sophisticated design. But I really am being very nitpicky. Polyfill pillows, let's get rid of those, and let's put some down pillows in here, and something with a pattern, like something that's a little bit, I like that they're blue, but like, that this is like decoration. This is like jewelry. It's where you get to have a little bit more fun. Stuff on the top of the dresser, I don't love. I don't also, anybody with like OCD would make them crazy that this dresser is not centered underneath the TV. So you might want to move that over. I mean, the photos are great. Like the quality of photos are great. So whoever took your pictures did a good job. This is a great view. I love this. If you don't have to have this curtain in the middle, if it's because of a bracket or something and you can't move it, I understand. But if you can move it, because it's blocking the view.
It's because of the bracket. There's a bracket right there to fit the whole, and they're block out shades is what they are, because that sun comes right in that window, and so you need to have the block outs, otherwise it gets hot.
Yeah, no, I bet. If I were redesigning this from scratch, I would actually do like a Roman shade or like a roller shade that's blackout over these. And then I would just do decorative drapes on either side so that it's giving like the softness and beauty of that texture without actually being functional. So they can kind of stay put. They're just pretty. And then the roller shade does the heavy lifting.
Okay.
This is a cute room. I love it. This lamp is absolutely 10 out of 10. So good job there. I like the big fish on the wall, and I like that you gave them a nightstand and a lamp. That's also great. Speaking from like safety purposes, if there's little kids that sleep in here, which likely it's going to be, if you give them a place to like set their devices down, they're less likely to keep those devices in the bed with them at night. And as those devices are being, slept on underneath their pillow, basically, like that's a fire hazard. So giving them a place to put that stuff down, I think is really great. So I know that probably wasn't even in your thought process, as it's usually not for anybody, but kudos to you for doing that. I'm a little confused about this window. Is this like an actual window or is it like a fake window?
It's an actual window, but the people we bought it from it's a blockout shade that is a picture of the ocean outside. But since that view is actually of the parking lot, I was like, okay, I'll leave it there.
Okay, I would try doing one with it open and just see if it matters. If you can get it to the angle where you're only seeing sky and not really the parking lot, then I would open it. And then this is just like when someone pulls down this roller shade, it's a nice surprise that it has a print on it. So,
Yeah.
not something that I think you need to market. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna go faster. Yes, all of this, 1,000 like percent out of 1,000%. Like that's all great. Shower's great. Thank you for using a, a hotel standard shower curtain. You have soap. You have washcloths, makeup washcloths. I don't love that art, but it's, I'm again being super nitpicky. That's all great. You need a towel. These little 3M hooks look cheap, and I bet that you don't want to attract anybody who, wants a cheap stay. Like you want somebody that's going to be paying the amount you want for them to stay there. So just put the hook up, or the towel bar, the round thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the issue is those walls. They're like cement weird walls. And so it was one of those things I tried to drill, and then they kept coming out. I got to figure out a solution. But you're right. I think I need to have something. We did the towels the same way with the 3Ms along the wall, just to bathing suits and such. But we're talking about redoing that with a surfboard so that at least it's got some type of theme to it
Yes.
instead of just hooks. So
I love the surfboard idea. That's very clever. And you could do a miniature surfboard right here and then do a towel hook on it or something. Like,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Again, super nitpicky. I don't love the polyfill cushions. My guess is that these take off if you get a good wind. So I'm going to let you all in on a little secret that maybe a lot of people don't know. There's a company out there called Wugs and Willows. They're weighted rugs and weighted pillows. And they're like specifically designed, they're exterior level like rugs and pillows that have weight in them, and they also are filled with a down alternative so they can look like they're luxurious instead of the polyfill one. Now they're like $70 a pillow, but you'll never lose the pillow. It's not going anywhere because it's weighted. It's not taking off. So for me, that's a really good investment, and they're so pretty, and there's lots of different colors. And I've seen them in person. They're very nice. So Wugs and Willows. This is cute. I like the fish on the wall. I think that's adorable. And then if you're going to have pots down here for plants, put some plants in them.
We got rid of those.
Oh, okay.
They're not there anymore.
Okay. I think the rest is just the resort. So, actually, lastly, I do not like this picture. Just saying. Like, I get it. It's kind of cheeky, and I understand why you're doing it because you're telling everybody that you like supply those things, but you already took pictures of them. So this is totally personal opinion. I mean, no offense. I just don't like it.
No, hey.
I think it's dorky.
Anything anymore that basically writing on anything anymore, on any art, on wall decals, any of that stuff is
Pillows, no pillows.
Yeah, it's basically old fashioned at this point. And so you're telling on yourself by having that stuff in place. It doesn't feel very updated, but thank you, Misty, for jumping through there. Very thorough, each photo by photo. And
it's like a drug for me. You should never let me do this.
I know. So what I'll tell you, Tony, one last thing, and then we're going to hop off here, guys, and this is important for everyone to know. I was looking at your location, and it looks like there's at least 6 other places that are Airbnbs in your building.
At least.
Yeah. And so your place doesn't look that much different from any of them. You do a good job overall. I think it feels very nice and clean. You do all the right things on the little stuff, which is important. A lot of people miss that. They'll spend a lot of money on the decor and then mess up the soaps, makeup towels, those kind of things. But you at least got those parts done. But what you need to consider, and what we do for people, like when we're looking at design, is right now you essentially have a commodity in your building. Right? There's 6 other places looking at it too. You guys are all priced similarly, meaning that you're competing with each other, right? Who's going to get the business essentially, and people that are more affordable are going to get promoted more too. So right now you're essentially going to have to compete with price on your place. And so if you can think through anything that you can do that will give your place an edge. All the places, like I said, are almost identical. They feel very similar. similar style. There's some places that are worse, like furniture wise, but your place is cohesive, but there's nothing really design wise that's really telling me this is a vacation home. There is, other than just coastal design throughout, there's nothing that is an amenity that's individualized to your place. So if you can think of something, it might be even just something, maybe start small with like a small game. Like I couldn't find a single one that had anything at all. So anything that will fit, I understand these places aren't huge, but you need to get creative and think through like what's going to be the separator. And if you can find that thing, you're not competing on price anymore. You're competing on design. And so you can detach yourself from everyone else and charge a completely different price.
Okay.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone needs to think through that though, guys. Like most places, if I looked up your place, even if it's not in a condo, I look in that neighborhood, I find other 3-bed, 2 houses. I find other places that sleep similar amount, that have similar stuff going on, that feel similar. And so an amenity by itself can be designed too. So if your place was decked out in design and design like dedicated to an Airbnb, that's also an amenity too that's going to differentiate you as well. So, all right. If anyone wasn't on the call in the beginning, go to that link. Make sure you sign up for next week's. It won't be this link anymore. There's going to be new notifications. So if you didn't register there, you are not going to get notified anymore, and you will be gone into the abyss, and we'll never see you again.
No.
But hopefully it's helpful. It'll be uploaded to YouTube later as well. So if you missed some of it, or if you got on late, if you hopped off early, this will be available there as well. But hopefully this
Yeah,
is helpful. And
sorry, I put the link in the chat, just like I reposted it for everybody. So it's at
thank
the
you.
very end of the chat. Yep. And then really quick, Ryan, Joseph asked if there was a one-on-one time for this type of evaluation for his listing. We're just starting out with Airbnb, and I figure he can also go to that link.
Yeah. Well, you should go to that link still too, Joseph. But the I assume you're Joseph. Are you still on the call?
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. So the number, and I can't find you in our system by myself. The number that is letting you know about these meetings. You spelled it. Yeah, I don't know what your last name is, Joseph. So whatever number is letting you know about the meetings coming up, this that I was texting you about the Zoom call, and this goes for anyone on the call. You want more information, you want to, do a one-on-one, see what we can help you out with. Respond back to the number that is texting you about these Zoom calls, or the email, whatever's easiest for you. Let us know there. We will send you a calendar link. You can book a time that works for you. Half-hour meetings, completely free. So we'll set that up for you. But yeah, respond to that, Joseph. Respond to that link, or respond to that text message or the email that you got about this Zoom call. Make sure you guys registered. This is going to go away here in about 5 seconds when I click leave. So click the link now. Get set up there. This was good. Hopefully you guys got something great out of it, and let's go make some money.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks, Misty.
Bye.